Today has been a very strange day for a lot of us here. And I would like to share with you a piece that was written by the English poet John Donne. No man is an island, entire of itself, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were. As well as if a manor of thy friends or of thine own were. Send to know for whom the bell tolls. The bell tolls for thee, for thee.
Strange feeling that sometimes you've got this reminiscence of the past experience very in an unexpected manner. Like, I don't want to say déjà vu, it's not the same, but I was so touched by this first video work that I almost I almost forget that I'm the poet and now I should perform. So I was so touched, and I became for a short moment I became the one with the atmosphere of the video. And the last time I experienced that was when I was in a primary school. It was like the second year of primary school. And after that I was not able to sing my song because the previous singer was so good, and I was so on a vibe. I was not able to find my own voice after that. I'm not sure about why I'm sharing this this experience with you right now. However, this is a very I can say an intimate or very unique moment we can share together. We can be right now here and experience this. You know what? It's not a normal thing that the poetry reading in Czech Republic it's always like that. No, no, and I feel like it's it's good that poetry can be also connected with different medias, like sound, we will experience it later, or performance, or just being a little bit more informal. So sorry for this embarrassing moment. And now I will read my poems. Yeah, so I prepared few of them for you. Yes. That's very good. So I decided to skip my first poetry book and go straight to the next one called Ujedě. Ujedě, it's this is not possible to translate, but it means if you're a hunter, right, and you want to hunt a fox or a wolf or something like that, you need to have a flesh meat. And it's a special word for that in Czech language. It's called ujedě. Well, now finally the poems. After winter, she still had stiff meat. Then they grafted her into wood by hand. No wounds worth speaking of, or whispering through a crack through her palm. Great grandmother stands at the window waiting for a lover. Great grandmother's waiting for a lover and carrying water for the fire. Great grandmother's waiting for a lover and her husband is sleeping. Everything's fine on the farm. Thank you. This is one and only autobiographical poem I've got. So, well, next one. You love progress, you love neatness. I'm a different generation. I like retro, I like dirt. I don't know Pedro chewing gum. I didn't experience communism. I'm a different generation. I can only limit my consumerism. You are a different generation, but you fuck great. Thank you. This should be the funny one. And now something more serious. It's called a trilogy on a single man. So it's a trilogy, so you've got 3 parts. First one. Whenever he gets drunk, he speaks about how his wife left him. Until the morning, he doesn't get by single. Second one. He spends his free time on erotic chat. Because he's best at speaking. He doesn't have time, he works, he chats, he doesn't get by single. And the third part was actually wrote because of Facebook feedback. I got a message from foreign man. I have never seen him before, right? And he told me, "Oh, it's about me. How's it possible?" But how? It's true. It sounds like a sitcom or stand-up comedy. No, it's the real life story. And I told him no. It's like, you know, like an archetype or something, like blah blah blah. And meanwhile, he shared a lot of personal details. So I wrote the third poem, and after that, he just dismissed our friendship, virtual friendship. Yeah. So the third one is he's not satisfied, but he doesn't want to change anything. He's sick, but doesn't want to go to doctor. He pretends he's not single. Okay, and the next poem is about myself. So you can see I'm not just making fun of men. Yes, I do, but I can do it for myself as well. I get up at 11, my first shot at 4. I dance around the apartment, doing laundry, throwing out the dishes. If I wasn't a wimp, I'd go shopping like the others. I'm so happy you can relate. Yeah. Okay. So now just a few poems from my latest book. You won't run away, or you don't run away. In the fridge, I have a facial mask and nothing more. This is also like a piece from real life. Yeah. Now back to the poetry. I'm the one who implores the devils. I listen to their belching maliciously. I stop in speech just so the breath doesn't recognize the pause. I laugh hell like bread and butter. I tear intellect in words. As a child, I didn't understand why I wasn't a man. Only better than a man is a witch. Soul has no gender. I'm something between a man, a machine, and a planet. I will erect a chamber for ghosts and show you where to hunt in shadows. I boil them in my blood, blade of lost, gut of love. I'm white, naked, lovely. And the last one, which will be followed by a video, is called The Asian Gods Are Still Online. I would like to consort with hops, overgrown in the woods like my fur in the strained fascia of a clerk. I will measure out my desire for you with steps. Judged torture for the advanced, and I know there is still time because the Asian gods are still online.
Staří bohové jsou stále online. Ráda bych obcoval s chmelem zarostlým v lese jako moje srst v namožených fascích úřednice. Kroky odměřím touhu po tobě. Trpné právo pro pokročilé. A vím, že je ještě čas, protože staří bohové jsou stále online.
Not with the fire that's in me now. Let me burn and shine and light up this shithole.
Hi, we are from Object Paradise, and this is the ideal poetry reading.
Enable to the masses who don't think as much as I do, to those fools.
Welcome my flatmates and their friends in Czech Centre. My name is Ondřej Macl and I will read parts from my book called I Love My Grandmother More Than Young Women, as Přemysl said. Still I feel that a record should be made of the life and works of Mrs. K. Please, Ondřej, do it for your grandma's sake. I think it could be a nice little piece and I'd be happy to have contributed. Some engineer Číš was insisting in his letter. And due to the petty demands of some engineer Číš, that I began to take more notice of grandma. No, I'm not bringing consolation. At best a collection of the reflections of my hopeless love. I wanted to write coherently, clearly, literarily, but the text fell apart in my hands just like my grandma's body, like my feelings for her. It ended up similar to that animal into which my grandma breathed life with her brush. I was going to draw a dog, but it looks more like a cow, except it has no horns. I've no idea what I've drawn here. I am my grandma's favorite. It's not my fault. She took to me from my earliest boyhood. Even if I changed my name, emigrated, had myself operated on, there was no escaping the past. My grandma. I've yielded to many a siren of this world, and now it remains for me to discern this piece of banality that vainly I've been beating to death inside me in favor of imagination. I shall spread it out like something non-banal and fasten myself to it. Nature's most beautiful gift is life. Life's most beautiful gift is youth. Youth's most beautiful gift is love. Cosmetics. Color against gray hair. Cream against wrinkles. What about the beauty of gray hair, wrinkles? Or the beauty of the beloved in all her changes, the cosmic beauty? She never got drunk. She fled all the skips immediately after she helped decorate the dance hall. No flirting. Her harshest swear word was Jiminy. She never saw, had no need to see the sea. She never climbed a mountain peak. She'd been abroad only once, a work outing, no distinctive impressions. Sensations! No fewer than 3 sturdy fellows dragged Grandma up the church stairs today. Well, at least I'll give them something to remember. If only one could preserve those moments in which nothing special happened. Although I have nothing, I always give you something.
Through these words, Grandma defined herself more appositely than how she's appropriated by the sociological dictionary. For example, the grandmother is a very important institution for the functioning of the family and a systemic feature.
I'm growing old. I'm in the way. I'm more and more redundant, less and less self-reliant. Only my hardships proliferate.
That's when I'll love her the most. Before bedtime, she'd come tuck us in, wishing good night to every single body part individually, beginning with the head and down toward the feet.
Good night, little Harry. Good night, little eyes. Good night, little nosy. Good night, little tongue. And good night, little neck. Good night, little chest. Good night, little tummy. Good night, right hand. And good night, left hand. Good night, right, left. And good night, left, left. Good night, body.
One time I came to the hospital when she was down with the flu, and so I had to put on a plastic coat, a face cloth, a pair of gloves. How terrible, kissing her mouth through a face cloth, shaking her hand through a glove. It's one giant leap for Grandma and absolutely nothing for Megan. Neil Armstrong. Dust gathers on anything long untouched. While dusting, there's new peeling of my hands. There's new dust peeling of my hands. Dust is born even when I touch you. No demon of disintegration. All you loved will be carried to the dustbins, bazaars, dressing rooms and cellars by your closest ones. Prečo tak pozdě, krásná paní, dal osud nás len dohromady? Prečo tak pozdě, kdo len to povie nám?
How to assemble a chair. Step 1, remove packaging. Step 2, gather socket wrench and Phillips head screwdriver. Step 3, place important screws in important places. Step 4, assemble T-bar against the 4-star side panel. Step 5, gather the remaining dowel rods. Step 6, carefully screw the T-joint using the provided Allen key supply. Step 7, secure the mechanism. Step 8, you can ignore this step. Step 9, secure the seating panel by applying pressure. Step 10, apply a fine layer of glue to the T-bar anchors. Step 11, assess the structural foundation. Step 12, you're almost done. Step 13, bond the remaining adhesive pads. Step 14, liberally apply the comfort-enhancing wood finish. Step 15, finally, Enjoy the convenience of your new chair.
Mladost už dávno odletěla, vzpomínky lásky zanechala. A život plyne vděl, zostal som sám. What was it? So it goes. I am dating a young woman. She's been through enough for her years. She offered me a room. All the banality of love. Let's be okay together, that's enough. She gets sick quite often. Grandma's features in her face. Grandma, I love a young girl, and just like you, we'll be spending most of our time together in beds.
Oh baby, baby, how was I supposed to know? Something wasn't right here. Oh baby, baby, I shouldn't let you go. Now you're out of sight. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know how, because my loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe, when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign, hit me, baby, one more time.
Dnes grillujeme žebra, zítra srdce. Koncert proti konci světa nezrušili. Bude se hrát, i kdyby už nikdo nepřišel. Spásu si představuju jako holčičku z Afriky, která mě adoptovala. Vodu vodě, chléb chlebu, start new game. Poválečná literatura je předválečná literatura. Přede dveřmi je za dveřmi. V mých očích jsem v tvých očích, ale jak to vidíš ty? Sad je ve tmě, sadu tma. Nechoď na zahradu, přijde za tebou. Jsem Mohamed, kávu. Ano, dopřej si tragédii a jednu alžírskou prosím. Slušnost velí. Poděkuj, když nemáš zač. Ber, nebo nebejt.
Единственное, что может остановить злой человек с ружьем, это хороший человек с ружьем. Единственное,
která dokáže zastavit dobré muže s ostrými boji nad tupým zlem, je poctivá lidská tkáň, ty a já svítí. Je mi 35 let, jsem velmi šťastný. Mám inteligentní a věrnou ženu. Po 10 letech hezkého vztahu jsem se oženil. Je to 5 let. Nemám děti, hypotéku, empatii, ani další dluhy. Mám vzdělání, cit pro umění a sebevědomí. Jsem velmi šťastný. Já. Tímto bych rád poděkoval ženě, Bohu, státu. Děkuji. Je mi 36 let, jsem velmi šťastný. Jsem velmi šťastný.
That was Ondřej Buddeus. Hello to Prague. And the important information is that I am not Emma Kausc, but I will read her poetry anyway, as she is quite ill. But it's a Czech poet who left Bohemia, and she is living in London already for several years, not planning to come back, so she's based in London. Just 4 poems from her to praise her willingness to come. I see nothing. This is how it works, yeah, sorry. It's called In War 1 anyway, so it suits the situation. In War 1. Nights out, which are better documented than whole wars. Memories lazily rolling over from an attractive brown tan to a dense sunburn, a pinching violation, the sudden defeat which has its roots in yesterday, the night before, etc. Inhabits the middle of Greenwich Mean Time, expanding, biting the hand it has been fed with, eating other time zones. Her voice tells me that it's just a party, war, day. We don't have to know each other's names since there are so few of us in the room. Terror as a collective future for every me. Inside a violence that is yet to come, there is nothing behind the eyelids capable of pronouncing. The morning in Athens, only for those who wake up. After War 1, the previous one was In War, now we have After War. The city is coming of age, out of depression, like shaking a known hand, like war-provoking Wayne's rapture. This is the city of Athens, electricity deprived, taking refuge in a woman inside a public restroom, inflamed skin with a content so fragile that even coming near sound would result in a breakdown. Discharges running offline underlie a house I want to run away from. It has neither doors nor windows. Now, before war. The answer to questions you want to break isn't in what I say but how. A bridge meant to be burned after everyone gets home safely. This should have sounded like my voice, but I have no faith in things that got stuck up inside. Not yet. Chronic together is a ride in an uncrushed car. It wishes to terminate in an accident, uttering who won, got beaten. And the last one, in war. Small wound on an arm, my caped arm is only able to whisper, you are what is wrong with me. Blood as SOS without a soundtrack. After 2 years of us, every interview I give begins with the end of the world and comebacks to you, our house built on the very edge of stoning and being stoned. Too late from the very beginning is a phrase working inversely. You know I just can't get rid of this feeling, me being nothing but a changing station. I am not shown any sort of respect, and still the language of this abuse leads to private. Apocalypse, where there are kids of a screaming marriage, our marriage. I'm looking forward to have a shelf dedicated to your books only. Sure, you don't grow in this as a person, but it is what you say in a tap, and oil from the tap opens a large-scale spill fire on the wall. Your violent capitulation is followed by me, nodding sadly. This was the poetry of Emma Kausc. I read it. Kausc is read. And now is the last part. It's us. Moravian. Oh yeah, of course there will be Alžběta Stančáková with us now, but after the live performance will be us, the last one. I call it Moravian poetry, Moravian sound poetry in songs. You can name it as you wish. So see you in 15 minutes.
Hey, look! Ancient goods are still online. Hey, look! Ancient goods are still online. Online. Still online. Ancient goods. Ancient goods. Goods are online. Goods are online. Hey, look! Online. Hey, look! Online. Ancient online. Still are. Hey, hey, look! 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 Online. Online. Goods are still are
increase everything. And that's it.